Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of True Picks, where we talk about everything that is happening, or everything that will happen, or everything we think that'll happen in the NFL season. And there is a lot to talk about this week because, of course, it was the trade deadline. And when I say we are going to be talking about it, of course, I mean myself. Oh my goodness, what's going on? There we go. I mean myself, I mean Chase. Oliver Chase is going to be joining us in a few moments, but that gives us a little bit of time to talk about everything that has happened with the past week and do our kind of week by week analysis. So we haven't done this in a little while. And you can see Chase has been pretty, I'll say from a perspective of being over 500, he's been pretty consistent. I've had a few hit or miss weeks here and there, but doing all right. And let's take a look at how we did last week. Both of us got shellacked last week. It was a bit of a struggle for a lot of the teams. A lot of teams that kind of were either the favorites, like the Colts and the Steelers. That was a bit of a flip there. The Giants were we both took the Giants. Those were considered underdogs, but they took the loss. That Lions and Vikings game, that one was pretty incredible to see. JJ McCarthy doing a little bit of wheeling, doing a little bit of dealing here and there, and just like JJ McCarthy is doing a little bit of wheeling and dealing, so too is Chase. Chase, how you doing today, good sir?
Doing good, man. Ready to talk about what was a actual fun NFL trade deadline, and hopefully bounce back from a rough week of picks. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so I wanted to like that. I was just talking about that Lions and Vikings game. That was a really good showing for young JJ McCarthy. Like he did what
Yeah.
was needed to be done. Like he ran a touchdown in, he got two passing touchdowns. But like from the game manager perspective, what people kind of were wanting from JJ McCarthy, he did everything KOC needed him to do.
Yeah, he did a great job. He looked well. The Vikings just looked like a much better team than what we've been seeing from the output of them. So yeah, he looked good. But yeah, the Lions defense, obviously they have some injuries right now. So but to see that from JJ McCarthy, because there was a lot of Vikings fans that were just kind of doubting him, like they were writing him off. They were like, "Oh,
Yeah.
is he really that good? Why isn't KOC starting him if he's kind of healthy? How come he didn't play the Thursday night game?" And it was probably smart for him. He looks fine. So I think this QB class, I think we have an answer of all of these QBs of what they are and stuff. Like it's a good QB class, very good QB class. They're not final products. I mean, all are in their second year. Technically, this is a rookie year for JJ McCarthy. So,
Yeah, I mean, I get that they got thrown in, particularly the back half of the year, but for someone like a Penix or even a Drake May, I don't know if I necessarily would hold that year against them, particularly Drake May, because he's looking gangbusters right now. But what do you think about that Packers-Panthers loss? That
oh my, this is the Packers, man. Like, I can't. I knew this. Like, I was like, they're not a Super Bowl contender. Like, this team should have kicked the Panthers' ass, and the
they should.
Panthers. The Panthers are quietly the same record as the Chiefs. They're 5-4. You're just like looking at it. Bryce is looking pretty good. He has a nice little connection with Tatora McMillan. They, the Panthers. It wasn't like they did anything like phenomenal in that game. They just had a better game plan than the Packers. Like the Packers, I don't know what their issue is. Like that defense, like either will look phenomenal or it'll just look average. Like I don't know, man. Like I can't put the Packers in Super Bowl tier. They're a great team on paper. On paper, I look at this team, but it's kind of worrisome that like look, there's going to be games, and I'll talk about it with like the Colts and stuff, where it's like, hey, you have an off game and stuff. I've seen it too much for the Packers where they have an off game, and you're playing again, and it's against the worst teams in the league. Well, I guess the Panthers, we can't call them one of the worst teams. They're 5-4. Like they're quietly having a good season. Like as much as people are like, oh, the Panthers stink. It's like, look at their record. They're better than the Raiders. They're better than the freaking Giants. They're better than the Jets. They're better than like the Panthers are in the tier of the stink teams, but they're 5-4. They have the same record as the Kansas City Chiefs right now. They have a chance to win the NFC South. Like this is not on the realm of possibility where if the Buccaneers go on a weird slide, the Panthers somehow win the NFC South.
the Buccaneers have been in a weird situation with all of their injuries and things like that. It seems like they
Yeah,
could be ripe for like there has to be a limit to how much not JJ Baker Mayfield's anger at the world can take a team above
yeah,
the idea of winning. But that was a stunning. I mean, if you're the Panthers, you have to be thrilled. Like you have to be thrilled.
yeah. You like
You came
you
out with
you
that.
you saw this Packers team have a big win against the Steelers defense that is better than yours, and you came out there and you just ball controlled the football and played like a simple game plan, and you beat one of the elites in the NFC, and you're just saying like, hey, how come not us? How come we can't sneak into a wild card? How come we can't?
Look at you falling back in love with your
Yeah,
favorite Alabama quarterback.
I've always liked Bryce Young. I just don't like he's on the Panthers. There's a difference. Like I don't like the Panthers. I just don't understand it. Like they're the weirdest record in the NFL right now. You just look at them and you're just like, there's no way that they're better than the Giants. But somehow, some way, they have a better record. Like they're just better than a lot of teams in the NFL right now. We just have to admit that. Like the Panthers were a plus 640 underdog. What that tells me is that Vegas did all the math and they said, oh yeah, the Packers are healthy or fully healthy enough that they can kill the Carolina
They should have
Panthers.
hammered like they should have hammered
Yeah,
a 2 touchdown win at least.
yeah, yeah.
So then I also was doing our week by week, and I was saying to everyone, you're from a perspective of being above 500, very consistent on your part. I've been a little spotty here and there, and then this past week kind of killed us.
Yeah, no, this past week, that's just horrible. Horrible.
But then I wanted to say, let's look. Oh my goodness.
Mm,
Oh my goodness. We
wow.
actually had, as I misspelled Eagles over here, we actually had a bit of a trade deadline, some trades happening. And obviously, we can talk about the two big ones, right? The ones at the top.
Yeah.
But before we get into those, how do you feel about the two Chargers trades?
I don't understand the Justin Taylor trade. I don't know why the Jets want him. He wasn't that good for
Well,
us.
they
So,
traded away a cornerback, so need a
yeah,
little bit of depth.
yeah, yeah. Um, that's fine. The Trevor Penning trade. Look, Trevor Penning, he's pretty bad. Like he's not good as offensive lineman. He's kind of proven that. Like, I'm not a big fan of if you were a first round pick and you were supposed to be a left tackle, then they moved you to right tackle, and then they kicked you inside guard. You obviously didn't pan out well. There was always concerns with Trevor Penning where he was a big individual, but did he have the strength? Did he
Mm.
have the footwork? Like just because you're a big individual, like there's a lot of big human beings, but they're not strong. Like that was the issue with Trevor Penning was that they said that he wasn't strong enough, but they were hoping with the workouts in the NFL they can get the strength underneath him. He's gotten the strength. It's just that his footwork is ass. Like he cannot move off the line. Like he just doesn't move. But the Chargers are at just desperation
I
lengths.
mean, yeah, but also you can look at it not saying like this is a designed to be a reclamation project for the future,
Oh
but
no,
you're only
no,
giving up 27 to 6.
no.
But at the same time, like you would imagine that the Chargers have a good enough O-line coach that if it comes to footwork, they can get foot like
Yeah.
if you're standing there in a practice and you have Joe Alt and Rashawn Slater who are at least in the facility, right? Like they're at the facility, they're doing the team meetings and things like that. I'm sure that those are two guys that you can learn a little bit of footwork stuff from.
Oh no.
So like,
Trevor Penning fits with what Jim Harbaugh likes in his offensive linemen and what Greg Roman likes. Big, physical type of dudes. The worst case scenario is that Trevor Penning, he becomes a swing guard, swing tackle, or he becomes a starting guard, or he might be one of our starting tackles. Because like, look, we Chargers lost Rashawn Slater before the season started. They lost Joe Alt this past week. Those are two key pieces gone. Bobby Hart, surprisingly, has been the other good tackle. Trey Pipkins, hit or miss with his injuries, but he's been good too. They've had why am I forgetting his name? He has a weird last name. The other guy that's been playing right tackle, left tackle for us. We traded him from the Texans. Like we got him from the Texans. Deculus or whatever. He's been kind of playing
oh,
for
I
us.
know what you're talking about. Yeah,
Yeah, Jamari Sire, who has been mostly our swing everything. Like he just kind of fits a hole. So Trevor Penning, it's like, hey, worst case is we just find something with him, but He is a free agent this upcoming season. He will be probably cheap because he hasn't been performing well. Zion Johnson in the same draft class, the same pick, pick number 17, pick 2 picks before Trevor Penning. He's having a quietly good season, so he's playing above what his market would have been. And if you look at the Chargers, you look at a cap situation, it's kind of like, okay, we can kind of let Zion Johnson go, and hopefully we can develop Trevor Penning. We can re-sign Trevor Penning on a cheap deal. If Zion Johnson accepts a cheaper deal, cool. We keep Zion Johnson. We have a starting left guard, not the best, but he's solid enough. And
Yeah,
worst case is Trevor Penning. He's either a great swing all around player like we have a Jamari Siler, or Trevor Penning is, a guy that we can put at left guard or right guard and figure out what to do with him, and we will have him on a cheaper contract. So I'm not, I don't hate the move at all. It's just more of like, as one of those where it's the Chargers needed some help at offensive line, so I'm glad they got help at offensive line. It's just more of like, I don't know, like couldn't you have called for like a stronger name than Trevor Penning?
right.
Like, you're
Yeah.
like, could you have not asked one of these teams that are kind
What
of
was
like,
yeah? I guess it's like what was the asking price? Like, was the
yeah,
asking price that steep that you were like, we'll muddle along? Because I mean, like
yeah,
you're looking at it from the Chargers' perspective, you got to think, hey, during the games when Alt wasn't in the lineup, and obviously we didn't have Rashawn Slater, we were still winning. We were able to throw the ball, move the ball pretty well. So we don't need to. It's more not like I don't want to say luxury pick, but it's like why would you spend the draft capital if you don't need to?
yeah,
I do
exactly.
get it from their perspective. But speaking of teams that made some moves and kind of was like, oh, they needed to do something. The Raiders decided to finally trade Jacoby Myers and send him to the Jaguars, who really do need wide receiver help, which is a wild sentence to say when you have Brian Thomas Jr. and Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter, of course, going on IR. I still believe that BTJ is dealing with some kind of a wrist injury that nobody wants to really acknowledge and talk about, but like he's also been questionable in games. So they finally get a guy who, at the very least, is quietly consistent, as we have consistently called him, in Jacoby Myers, who has been a solid wide receiver one, at least from a target perspective, not like dominant alpha type, but from a target share perspective, he has consistently produced every single year that he's been in the league. And now he started in New England, comes over to the Raiders. Now he's headed to Jacksonville. Meanwhile, the Seahawks, who for a while there were looking pretty strong with JSN, Cooper Kupp, Torrey Horton. They have an injury to Cooper Kupp. He is now questionable, and so they said we're too good right now. We are looking way too good with this offense, with this defense. We need to pull the trigger. They call the Saints, and the Saints are more than happy to make a trade, sending Rashid Shaheed to Seattle. This is great for Rashid Shaheed and great for somebody who is a wide receiver looking to operate in a Clint Kubiak offense, which is a Kyle Shanahan style offense, which needs that guy that's going to take the top off. And for the past couple of years, that has been JSN. JSN was the guy who was like taking the top off of the defense, and also to a certain extent DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, they all kind of worked that. But JSN really was that guy who was being more of a distraction route kind of person. Now with JSN being pressed into primary target reception duties, they need somebody to do that. Torrey Horton has filled in pretty well, and he will continue to do so. But with the injury to Cooper Kupp, they needed a guy, they needed a speed guy, and they got Rashid Shaheed, who was also connected potentially to Denver, my Broncos, but that didn't happen, and that didn't pan out. But I think the biggest, it's weird. Do you talk about Dallas and then the Jets? Or you talk about Jets and then Dallas. We'll go with Dallas first because they were the buyers, and then we'll look at it the seller's perspective, right? So Dallas, from a defensive perspective, everybody knew that this defense needed to get better, and Jerry Jones was talking about on Monday Night Football that they're going to make some big swings, and it really was funny that for a while there, the only thing they did was send a 2026 seventh round pick to Dallas for Logan Wilson. Now, I'm not here to say that Logan Wilson is a bad linebacker or anything like that, but part of the reason why the Bengals were willing to deal him is because he was losing playing time to two rookies.
Yeah.
If you are in the worst defense in the AFC and you're losing playing time to rookies, I don't know if the worst defense in the NFC should be trying to trade for you. But that is what Jerry Jones wanted to do. And Logan Wilson, at the very least, has veteran experience, right? Whether it's good experience, whether it's bad experience, knows what a defense should look like, shouldn't look like, whatever the case may be, he has it. Then we get up to the top and we look at Dallas's big swing. They get Quinnen Williams. They trade the Jets for Quinnen Williams, sending back defensive tackle Mozzie Smith, who has listen. If you're a believer in PFF, the pictures and the memes have been making the rounds of saying he's 119th out of 119.
He's been
not personally
horrible.
I mean, now here's the thing. I'm not personally a big believer in PFF, but like, it's got to be worth something, right? To say you're 119th out of 119th. But so the Jets get him back, which is probably just the ability to say, here's a body that we can put on the offensive line for the remainder of this season.
Yeah.
The real value is, of course, a 2026 second and a 2027 first. And that first is going to be the better of either Dallas's or Green Bay's pick. So whatever happens with Dallas, whatever happens with Green Bay, the Jets ultimately are the winners. Now, this helps do the transition into the second thing. The Colts called the Jets and said, hey, how do you feel about Sauce Gardner? And the Jets said, we really like the guy. And the Colts said, would you be willing to trade him? And the Jets said, I mean, everybody has a price for the $1 million man. And they said, what are you thinking of? And somehow, some way, the Jets were able to get not one, but 2 first-round picks out of the Colts for Sauce Gardner. Now, there's a couple takeaways from this for me. My takeaway from this is, one, first and foremost, Daniel Jones is getting an extension.
Yeah.
2, they anticipate that next year's pick and the 27 pick are going to be very late picks. They don't give a shit about losing them for Sauce Gardner. 3, the Colts hate Adonai Mitchell for dropping that ball as he walked into the end zone. And 4, they believe that Sauce Gardner has not regressed enough to the point that it's not worth paying what they paid.
Mm-hmm.
Let's look at these trades. I want to ask your perspective, these trades from the buyer's perspective. How do you think about this from Dallas for getting Quinnen Williams and for the Colts getting Sauce Gardner?
Well, Jerry Jones said it. These first-round picks we got for Micah Parsons, they can possibly be all pros to replace Micah Parsons. So he was good on his promise. He got it all pro and Quinnen Williams out of it. And look, when they got Kenny Clark, who was on, like the regressing side of things. They were hoping pairing up with Kenny Clark with Mozzie Smith, it would make Mozzie Smith better because Mozzie Smith was horrible his first year in the league. Mm-hmm. They were hoping this would awaken him. He's still been bad. And the Cowboys definitely needed interior defensive line help. So they said, you know what? There's a guy in Quinnen Williams who just signed a big contract to the Jets. It's not that expensive of a contract. Mm-hmm. Might as well see if we can get this guy. And the Jets, who are selling, once they heard that 2027 first that has these weird NBA rules, mm-hmm. it's not a traditional 2027 first where it's like it's either the Packers. No, it's the better of whichever one. So if the Packers aren't good, the Jets get that pick. Or if the Cowboys aren't good, what in the NBA is this? This is something that I see for NBA pick protections. And somehow it's now in the NFL. I didn't know this was possible. Maybe it's happened before and I just never paid attention. But from a buyer's perspective, I do like the Cowboys getting a guy in Quinnen Williams because defensive tackles, no matter how old they get, they're still valuable in the league. Quinnen Williams is not going to lose his size. He's not going to lose his strength. DT is one of the few positions in the NFL. You can lose your athleticism. It does not matter. You're still big. You're still strong. You're still going to plug up those run holes. You're still going to be good. You're still going to be worthwhile. And Quinnen Williams is a guy that is signed to a good deal that you're going to have for the next 3 years, and it'll be good. So I like it from a Cowboys perspective. Getting a guy like Quinnen Williams, he helps out. Now for the Colts.
Oh, one thing I do want to add before we get into there. There's news now coming out that Quincy Williams, Quinnen's brother has been benched. He's saying he was benched. And what he's saying is that my coaches told me I was underperforming, but I've been underperforming since training camp. He's not thrilled with the decision, but he's also not mad because he hopes to win his job back. Quinnen Williams, his brother, was traded to the Cowboys on Tuesday. The Cowboys held talks with the Jets about including Quincy in the trade, but the sides couldn't agree to a deal. When they could not get that done, that's when they pivoted to the Bengals to get Logan Wilson.
That makes sense. Quincy Williams kind of got his position because of Quinnen Williams, and he was outstanding for the Jets for the short while that he was their will linebacker. So
yeah,
interesting. But the Colts really are going all in and being really aggressive, which is very, very refreshing to see an NFL team do this. Most NFL teams want it. But I think the Colts understand the NFL championship window is a small one. Now, Sauce Gardner, he is not making a lot of plays. He's not have an interception this season. He's not the same Sauce that he was his rookie year, but he's still a really good cornerback, one of the top cornerbacks in the NFL. And this kind of reminds me of the Rams trading for Jalen Ramsey, where it was like Ramsey, but Ramsey was much more of a playmaker than Sauce, but Ramsey still had it all. So the Colts truly believe with their infrastructure, within the next 2 years, they're winning the Super Bowl. They believe they have everything that they need to win a Super Bowl. It was just missing a dominant shutdown corner. Now, is Sauce Gardner a dominant shutdown corner? No, not really. But if you look at PFF and all the grades and stuff, he has been very, very good this season. He has been playing well. And sure, I know there's no interceptions to it, but it is what it is at the end of the day.
So, like, one thing that I think is why I think I like the trade for the Colts is because if you think about it, really what Sauce Gardner does is he just follows the wide receiver one of the team. He doesn't really do much else. Like, that's really like his intended goal is to be a shutdown guy, to your point, or try to be like that island receiver, but island corner, but a traveling island, if you will.
Yeah.
You don't really need to know a playbook to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to know a defensive playbook to do that. You really can be plug and play. Like, you can be in a situation where they're just like, hey, this week it's Brian Thomas Jr. Go cover him. Next week it's Cortland Sutton. Go cover him. Next week it's Rashee Rice. Go cover. It doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter what other play is being called around you. So from that perspective, like, the idea of learning the playbook or how long it would take to get up to speed in this Colts defense, I really don't think he needs that much time.
Yeah,
which is why it's great for the Colts.
It's an interconference trade too. He's faced a lot of these AFC wide receivers. It doesn't matter who the thing is this. The Colts have to beat the Chiefs, the Ravens, the Bills, and then whoever else you want to add to the mix, the Broncos, the Chargers, and all that other stuff to get to the Super Bowl. Hey, why don't you get a corner that's kind of familiar with the AFC side of things? Oh, and especially if the Bills are like the team maybe you're worried about the most. This guy has faced the Bills more than anyone else, and he knows about who their number one wide receiver is and all their little tactics and their technique. He's familiar with this. So it's an interconference trade. So it's pretty much he's just going to go from the worst team in the conference to one of the best teams in the conference. And he doesn't have to cover that much. Like, he already knows, like, the players that he's going to face. He's used to facing a lot of these AFC type of wide receivers. It's not like him going from the AFC to the NFC where it's like, okay, now like I barely see these players. We only play them once every 4 years. Even the AFC, you're going to be facing a lot of these teams very, very much more often than not.
Even if you look at the remaining games on the Colts schedule, right? So, like, this week they're going to face the Falcons in Berlin. Okay, cool. You may not have much experience against Drake London, but all right. You have the bye week, then you face Chiefs, AFC. Then you face the Texans, AFC. Then you're at the Jaguars, AFC. Seahawks, NFC. So that's 2 NFCs. Niners, NFC. Jaguars, Texans. So really it's Nico Collins, BTJ, or Travis Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
That's. I mean, if you believe that Sauce is a good enough cornerback, at the very least, he will be able to cover those guys. Like, can he? The real question, I think, is for them is going to be, can you cover Nico Collins? Because if the Texans are really the team that can play the spoiler, even with Davis Mills potentially starting this week, CJ Stroud only got a concussion. It's not like he's done for the season. The Texans will be in the mix of things. Yeah, you got to watch out for the Jaguars, but hey, look at this. Oh, right before you play them 2 times, you're getting Sauce Gardner. Like, that's brilliant for the Colts. It's like really smart, really well use of the idea of pushing in the chips and saying, hey, let's see what we can do while we got this opportunity. So I think it's really smart. And then they're always going to be able to, apparently, according to you, get some draft capital back by sending Anthony Richardson to the LA Rams.
Yeah, one day it'll happen. But yeah, no, like the thing with the Jets is too, they did a smart move. They're getting guys on a buy low to Adonai Mitchell. Hey, if he becomes good, he becomes good. He's fast as hell, so we know the guy can play football. Like, we've seen it. It's just he just has to fix on his football smarts. Mozzie Smith, I don't know if that could be saved, but who knows? Maybe on a bad Jets defense, he stands out. There's been plenty of guys like Mozzie Smith where they just struggle with their first team, and then by their second or third team, they end up becoming really good, solid players. But then just the draft capital that they ended up getting. You'll now have 2 first-round picks. You'll now have 2 first-round picks in this next upcoming draft, 2 second-round picks. You can play around with those and also make more moves and possibly get a 3rd first-round pick for this 2026 draft. And then you potentially have 3 2027 first-round picks, which, the 2027 draft, everyone, in terms of quarterback, wide receivers, everything.
That's Maya Smith and Ryan Williams.
That's the draft everyone's like circling. Oh, shit, the Jets have 3 picks in there. They can either move up, they can move down, they can do a lot with these 2027 first round picks, or they can just sit and draft as they keep doing their 8th rebuild in the past decade. Like that, we just have to do another Jets rebuild, another Jets. We've been rebuilding since 1998, or as Romeo will say, 1980 something. So yeah, it's just another Jets rebuild at this point. But hopefully it pans out well this time.
Yeah, I mean, to your point, 2 first rounders, 2 second rounders, and then 3 first rounders. That is a haul. That is a hell of a haul. That's a hell of the things that you can use. And if you think about from the perspective of like just Jerry Jones, those first rounders can turn into other players without needing to be draft picks.
Yeah, exactly.
So really great for the Jets. Really smart on their part.
Yeah, exactly. Like you can find a way to get a player that you feel like could help solve a lot of issues and stuff. So,
but before the Jets can make any of those selections and do any of those things, they gotta get to the end of the season. So let's turn to our handy dandy week 10 slate of games. And starting us off are the Broncos taking on the Raiders on Thursday Night Football. And last week, we both said it on this show that the score of Broncos Texans could be 17-14, and neither of us would be surprised. Well, technically speaking, we were wrong. It was 18-15. But really, that was kind of the spirit of the game. And to a certain extent, it does suck because for the Texans, the idea of CJ Stroud getting knocked out of the game. But one, CJ Stroud was not really moving the ball that well, even before he got knocked out. Like if you look at both his stats, and I mean, I was watching it, so like the eye test aspect of it, but also Davis Mills is in essence going to do what CJ Stroud was going to do anyway. From the perspective of the game plan, the pocket passing aspect, CJ Stroud is more of a pocket passer than a mobile, like a run first kind of guy. So, I mean, it was on a run that Stroud got the concussion. So he doesn't really leave the pocket that much. So the Texans we're going to get to them, but they're in a spot where they, like I was saying before, they have the ability to play spoiler with the Colts, but the Broncos now have to take on a Raiders team that just lost one of its better weapons, not its best weapons, because Jesus did Brock Bowers remind everyone why he is by far the greatest tight end in the NFL. He was like, Tyler Warren can maybe win. He can be like a potential argument for Rookie of the Year. He let him fight against Emeka Egbuka and Jackson Dart. He ain't taking best tight end in the league, though.
Yeah, he was just amazing that game.
I was, and in our dynasty, I'm playing against Brandon, who has Brock Bowers, and I was just like, wait a minute, how did he get that many points ahead of me? And then I looked at it, I was like, oh, That's how he got that many points ahead of me. This is ridiculous. But
I had Brock Bowers on my bench in one of my big leagues that I'm in.
oh,
Yeah, so I was
who did
just
you
like,
start over him?
I had Tyler Warren, and I
Okay.
was thinking about putting Brock Bowers in my flex. I had Brock Bowers. I was thinking about putting Brock Bowers in my flex,
Mm-hmm.
but I just did not know if
Whether he
like
was, yeah,
yeah, if he was 100% or not. And that was a dumb decision by me. I should have just started this cyborg and just said, you know what? Now I'm doing that where I have the two tight end, Tyler Warren's a flex, Brock Bowers is a tight end and stuff. But
yeah,
it was a tough decision, but I had to. I was pretty much just like I wanted three running backs to start this week, and I went
sure,
with my three running backs instead of Tyler Warren because I always find more value in having running backs just
yeah.
because like they get especially in PPR, they can catch, they can score
Mhm.
touchdowns and stuff. But yeah, so yeah, dumb decision by me. But yeah, he was amazing.
But now we're gonna see whether or not the Raiders can pull off some divisional bullshit against Denver. This reminds me of last year's game where I was seeing AOC and Gardner Minshew dealing to Brock Bowers against Denver, and I was like, how is Denver supposed to stop this man? This is ridiculous. Well, that was part of why the Broncos went and got Dre Greenlaw, because I don't know if people realize this. If you look at the film, Dre Greenlaw only played like I think 37, 30, like just shy of 40% of the snaps, defensive snaps, but he was on every single one of those goal line stuffs of Woody Marks and Nick Chubb when Denver held multiple goal line stands. Now, is this going to happen against, like, it's not the short yardage against Brock Bowers, but the point I'm getting at is it's a very large human being and it's a very fast human being. I don't know whether or not he's going to be able to successfully stop Brock Bowers, but I have more faith in him than I would in someone else. I guess I'm saying. I'll take the Broncos because I'm gonna take the Broncos, but like it would not surprise me if there is some ridiculous divisional bullshit that annoys the hell
It
out of me.
is Thursday night football. We
Yeah,
saw
that
with
annoys
the
the hell out of me after the Broncos finally, like, because I posted in the sports chats after Denver finally has the favored odds to win the division. There's some bullshit happens. But how are you going on this one?
yeah. I'm just gonna stick with the Broncos. I think they're the better team. They should beat the Raiders, but it is Thursday night football. We've always seen it where the underdog teams sometimes show up
We're gonna see
and kick ass.
we're gonna see the Jack Betch breakout game, right?
Yeah,
TCU
exactly.
receivers. It's your favorite.
Yeah.
Well, let's go to good old Germany, Berlin, Germany. Is it Berlin? No, it's Munich.
Munich.
Munich, Germany, where the Falcons will be taking on the alleged home team of the Colts, playing in Munich, and this is a fun one, right? Like we still don't really know exactly what. Like you were saying earlier, we know kind of what we have with all of the quarterbacks from last year. And to a certain extent, we do know what we have with Michael Penix. However, that is one person on a 53-man roster. And it seems as though we don't know what we have with the Falcons still. They are a team that can show up and go blow for blow with the Patriots until they lose at the very end. And they're also a team that just randomly gets embarrassed for no reason. Meanwhile, the Colts are a machine. And the question is going to be twofold. One, earlier this year, the Colts almost lost to Denver, the leverage penalty, but they trailed throughout the entire game. From that point on, they just kept winning and winning and winning until they ran into the Steelers. Did the Steelers somehow do the factory reset on Daniel Jones? Or was that just a fluke? Like, that's really the question. And that's how I think the determination is, because the Falcons, they are a team that can do a stunning upset win, right? Like we saw them against the Bills. So that is in the cards. Like, it's a possibility. Is it a high probability? That's part of the problem. We don't know. The Colts, though, they're now coming off of a loss, which was a loss. Like, it wasn't just some kind of a fluky nonsense. They were causing turnovers against the Steelers defense. Falcons defense, not as good as the Steelers defense from the perspective of getting turnovers, but it's one of the best. It's low key one of the best defenses in the league. Actually, if you look at the numbers, which I thought was pretty fascinating when I was looking at it earlier today, but from scoring standpoint, Atlanta, they're 10th right now in the league with from a points allowed standpoint. From a yardage standpoint, they're third.
Mm-hmm.
This was a defense that we were maligning
Yeah.
last year, right? And then you and I were talking about in the draft, what do they got to do? Defense, defense. See, they have to hammer defense. And what did they do? Out of all of their picks, every single one of them, except for one, was a defensive player. When you look at passing yards and you look at the passing yards allowed, they are number one in the league. The least amount of passing yards allowed. Now, granted, these are all teams that have only played 8 games. That's full caveat, right? The first team that is the lowest when you look at teams that have played 9 games, your Chargers at 7. If you look at the rushing yards, they also are not. This is where their issue is. They're 21st in the league. They're allowed 995 yards across 8 games. The Colts have Jonathan Taylor. So the question that I'm asking here for you is, how do you feel if you are a Falcons fan or the Falcons in general looking at this coaching staff trying to stop Jonathan Taylor?
Yeah, if I'm a Falcons fan, I'm kind of concerned because, like, we know they can probably stop what the Colts, like, with their deep shots and everything. They have one of the more unheralded secondaries in the league right now, the Falcons. It's also on the offensive side of the ball. It's just there's a lot of inconsistencies with Michael Penix. Like, there will be games where it's like, oh, yeah, Michael Penix looks like a starting quarterback. Then there's games where you're like, bro, what is this guy doing? And that's the thing with Penix. It's boom or bust with this guy. It's either his really good, nice big arm goes vroom and Drake London catches 3 touchdowns, or his nice big arm is getting intercepted a lot because teams are just playing deep against him. But yeah, this Falcons defense, they do have to do a better job at tackling and making sure Jonathan Taylor doesn't beat them. I looked at the Colts loss where it's like, hey, sometimes good teams, they just get stuck in neutral. Sometimes it's just, hey, you just have that one off game. And we've seen this before with many great teams where, like, some of the best offenses, like, some days they just don't look like the best offense. It is what it is. The Colts, I just felt they were stuck in neutral from that Steelers game. They just couldn't find a way to, get anything going. It was Jonathan Taylor's worst game this year, to be honest. So I look at it as like, maybe that was not a fluke loss. That was just more, hey, the Colts, they just didn't have a good game plan and their offense got stuck. It is what it is. On to Germany against this Falcons team, and let's see if we can rev up our offense against what is a significantly better Falcons defense. Falcons are frisky, and I think with the Falcons, they are that one team where you just don't know what you're going to get. It's trick or treat with the Falcons. Are you going to get the Falcons team that we saw against the Patriots and the Bills, or are we going to get the Falcons team that we saw against the Panthers? Like that's the in between with the Falcons. Like there's nothing else. Like they're either really fun and good, or they're just abysmally bad to watch. Like the Falcons versus the Dolphins and the Panthers. There ain't no way where you're going to think the Falcons were going to go haymaker for haymaker with the Patriots the week after they got skunked by the Dolphins, or after getting throttled by the Panthers, that they were going to throttle the Bills. Like they're such a bizarre team. It's just almost like with the Falcons, it's like, where's your identities? Where is your identity and stuff like that? Like there's no identity with the Atlanta Falcons at all. And that's the reason why I can't choose them against the Colts. I think the Colts, we know their identity, high-powered offense, defense just tries to get the ball back to the offense. I just think they had one game stuck in neutral. If they show me a second game stuck in neutral, I'll be kind of concerned.
That's the question marks, yeah.
Yeah, that's the question marks, but they're more consistent with the Falcons. I cannot, like, because we've seen this. Falcons look great. They beat the Bills. Oh, yeah, I think the Falcons could be up to, and then I'm turning on the game and stuff, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, this is a weird score. The Colts are killing the Falcons 27-0. What the fuck happened? Drake London, didn't you have 3 touchdowns last game? How do you only have 2 catches for 20 yards? What's going on here?
It's funny because it's like, and now, the Drake London's going to have to be going up against Sauce Gardner. Yeah. Which is like, if Sauce and Gardner...
Do you think they will have Sauce travel for this game? I think they will probably just...
if I'm the Colts, I would rather have Sauce travel for the game and lose the game than not have Sauce be there and then be like, but what if Sauce had been there and they lose.
Yeah.
Because like this is, if you look at what the standings are for the control of the AFC, this is so tight. They're 7-2. Patriots are 7-2. Denver's 7-2. If Denver walks out of that Thursday Night Football with a lead, with a win, they're now 8-2. You can't afford to take that loss. I would much rather, because that's what I was saying. Like it's a situation where Sauce doesn't need to know the playbook. It's just when you see Drake London, you stop him. Like that's just what you got to do.
Yeah, and then sometimes you might be on what's his face, the former Bears wide receiver. Why do I forget these?
Mooney.
Yeah, Mooney. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Falcons are just so wishy-washy to the point. It's just like
I still get pissed how they utilize Bijan Robinson. It pisses me off. It honestly pisses me off because it's just like I don't even have Bijan in any fantasy teams. Like that's the thing. It's like it's not even like, oh, I'm a bitter Bijan fantasy owner. I like or anything like. It's just so annoying where it's just like I get it. They're trying to maintain his health, but it's just like, dude. There's certain times where I'm like, I'd much rather have Bijan on the field than Tyler Algier. Tyler Algier is a fine running back. He's no fucking Bijan Robinson. Bijan Robinson is one of the best running backs in the league, and we're just so wishy-washy on him. It's just
it's
so
the
annoying.
same thing with him and with who's it's a solid 1-2 punch. It's not Gibbs and Monty because that split makes sense. Who am I thinking of where they'll alternate for no K9 and Sharps.
Yeah.
K9 and Sharps. That's what I'm thinking of.
K9, get down, K9. Well, of course I haven't got to K9's bitch ass out there, Charbonnet time.
Charbonnet time. Well, let's turn to a AFC South matchup. We were just talking about this from the perspective of these trades that were happening, as well as teams that are trying to try to get into the mix against the Colts for the divisional win. You have the Texans coming off of the loss against the Broncos, the Jaguars coming off of that stunning overtime win against the Raiders.
I was watching.
It was like 6-6 for like 2 quarters for the first half, and all of a sudden,
I was watching on Red Zone, and like straight up, Scott Hansen like said like an hour. Because like the Chiefs and the Bills was like started later than all the other games. He goes, once this Ravens and Jaguars game, get on your CBS or Paramount app to watch the remaining Chiefs and Bills. He said that an hour ago, and then the Raiders and the Raiders and the Jaguars decided to have an epic fourth quarter and then go into overtime, and they ended after Bills and Chiefs, and the Bills and Chiefs were in late third quarter. When the Raiders and the Jaguars were in the final 5 minutes of the fourth quarter. That was so funny. I was just oh my god.
Did you see the post show with Julian Edelman?
No.
They were asking him like what his thoughts were, and of course, he can't resist. He's like, well, one thing's for certain, we know that Pete Carroll likes throwing it at the goal line. I was like,
That play call wasn't a bad play call. It was just like Geno Smith's ball got bad after they had Lockett wide open, and then for whatever reason Geno decided to pump fake, and he didn't need to. He should have just lofted it up to Lockett, but it is what it is.
Well, see, that's the thing. You think after 3 years of being the starting quarterback with Lockett as your wide receiver too, he would know. Like you can just loop that, and Lockett will be able to at least fight for it. He'll be in contention for the ball.
Yeah, Geno picked up a bad habit from Rivers. Rivers did that a lot when Geno was a backup quarterback with the Chargers. Yeah.
So now we've got the Jaguars coming off of that win. You've still got Travis Hunter on IR. You've got a good running game. You've got a bit of, like you don't have Brenton Strange, but like there's, you're still able to move the ball. What's going on with BTJ and this wrist injury? It's not 100% certain. Now you got to travel to the Texans, who are trying to figure out whether or not CJ Stroud will exit concussion protocol in time to make the game. Now, one thing that's working very well for the Texans is that they don't have to face the defense that sacks people like it's nobody's business. Right now, after that game, Denver's at 40 sacks for the year, and I think the next closest is 28.
Yeah.
So it's ugly what Denver is doing to teams if they don't have if they don't have any uh, offensive line. And
even with the
yeah,
offensive line.
well, oh shit! As I check this, thank you, Davion, for pointing that out. CJ Stroud was just ruled out.
Yeah, they're
Never
not
mind.
risking it. They're
Never
not
mind.
risking it.
Never mind.
It's smart for them to, like, I know it's
Yeah.
against a divisional opponent, but you can't risk it, especially with the
Honestly, I thought like when they were moving the ball pretty effectively against Denver, I was like, this is like some ridiculous circle the wagons game, and they're gonna pull out some ridiculous win scoring just field goals against Denver because they can't get a touchdown, but it's gonna piss me off. So like this offense, even with Davis Mills, was moving the ball.
Yeah.
Like it's not unheard of that, or it's not ridiculous like they could beat the Jaguars. It's also Davis Mills, who was the starting quarterback for the Texans not too long ago and has experience playing out, in a sense, the Jaguars, even if it's a different coaching staff and all that kind of thing. This is, in a weird way, it's a coin flip game because you can make an argument as to why both of these teams are have a chance to win. I'm going to take the Texans only because they have the better defense, and I don't know whether or not Jacoby Myers is going to be ready to go, like fully knowing the playbook and able to be that contributive of a factor for the Jaguars at least this week.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm going with the Texans. Like, Mills showed a lot in that game. Like, despite getting his ass kicked by the Broncos defense at some points, he looked fine. He looked comfortable in the pocket. It just felt like there was a nice little he looked fine. Like, I felt he was distributing the ball a lot more effectively than sometimes Stroud was. Now, I'm not saying Mills is better than Stroud, but I think it's with the Texans. You're saying to yourself, look, Stroud is the much better quarterback and is the much better player, but we cannot risk like another injury to this guy. We cannot risk the concussion from getting worse. Keep him out until he is fully good to go, and then put him back in. You're still in control of this. You still have a chance at this AFC South thing. It's not out of the realm of the possibility. Wild card is pretty much tough. It's going to be the tough matchup because there's a lot of AFC teams fighting in that wild card position. You have a bunch of key matchups too that are going to be fighting for that wild card position this week. So for you, it's more of like, hey, if we lose this game, we lose this game. But if we win this game, great. But I think they're going to win this game because that defense is really good. The Jaguars, they're just a team where I thought they made the leap after the Chiefs game, but I guess that leap was just fool's gold or something. Like, I don't know. Maybe it was just luck. Maybe they made a sacrifice of their own to beat the Chiefs. Who knows? But yeah.
Yeah. Let's turn to an NFC versus NFC matchup. Same conference, different divisions. We've got the New York Giants traveling over to Chicago to take on the Bears. And my goodness, you've got an electric team in the Giants who are, we picked them last week against the Niners. That didn't work out too well for us, but they are scrappy as hell. Without Cam Scatterbo, without Malik Neighbors, it's just Wan'Dale Robinson, Darius Slayton, Theo Johnson, and somehow Devin Singletary getting more touches than Tyrone Tracy. But Jackson Dart is proving why a team thought it valuable to move back into the first to get him, so that another team wouldn't be able to get him in the top of the second. And you want to talk about somebody saving people's careers? He's definitely saving Daboll's career and maybe Joe Shane's to a certain degree.
Oh yeah, he definitely is, because the way he's playing, it's like, like, why would you want to change up the coaching staff? Like, you'll say to
Dable more than Shane.
Yeah, Shane is more of like, if Dable's like, yeah, I like working with him, you can keep him and type of thing. But like, he's doing good things. But I gave the Giants a sympathy win. I thought they could beat the Niners. I'm not doing it this week. Unfortunately, I got to choose the Bears. I picked against them.
Caleb's balling right now.
Yeah, he's playing.
Absolutely.
He's playing.
Every week that passes, he gets more comfortable in this Ben Johnson offense. He's learning the play calls more and more. Now I just need them to be able to better distribute the ball. And what I mean by that is there's no reason. I get the idea that, like, you want to try to get other people involved, and to a certain extent, DJ Moore has not been as involved. But there's no reason why Rome Odunze only gets 3 targets.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't make sense to me. Cole Kmet gets ruled out with injury. Colson Loveland comes in to fill in. Luther Burns has a concussion. Olamide Zacchaeus I get all of that. distribute the ball. I don't get how your best receiver. I mean, you can argue either Odunze and DJ Moore are right here, or maybe DJ Moore is a bit above him, but that's your future.
Yeah.
Like Odunze is the future, not DJ Moore. So the idea there is you got to get like if this is a train everybody up like Pokemon season for the Chicago Bears, that was the kind of game where you want it's like not necessarily like a must win, but like you really want to win, and it's a shootout. You need Odunze and Caleb to develop that chemistry and get those reps in. I was shocked that you mean to tell me if you're the Bears that you didn't even target Rome Odunze at least once per quarter. Mm-hmm. That's what that means. 3 targets over a game. So I don't understand how they gotta be better at that. But
Loveland showed up though.
Yeah, I mean, and then Kyle Monungai might have legitimately stolen.
I was not expecting that to have a Kyle Monungai.
He may have stolen Smith's job, but he at least made an argument for a timeshare.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Mongai came in. I wasn't I knew I was high on a Mongai, but I wasn't like, oh yeah, he's gonna be he looked like a running back 1 out there. He looked really
maybe there's an argument there where it's like, hey, it was the Bengals, right? It's the Bengals defense, but it is what it is. It's kind of funny because
it must be nice, man. Bears just found a running back out of nowhere, but I can't.
I fucking told you.
It's ridiculous, man. Whatever.
Hey. I get that they're on a bye week.
You know what's missing on the week sheet is that you didn't have Breece Hall for a 3rd round pick. Oh, wait. My team didn't want to trade a 3rd round pick for that. Fucking ridiculous, man. Just always on me. Why did we lose that game against the Bills? It's because we didn't have a running back, and everyone's blaming me. My interception, my lowest completion percentage of the career. They're blaming me for this loss, but not blaming my damn defense or the lack of a running game, because I am the fucking running game. It's fucking ridiculous, man. Whatever.
I hate you so much. But yeah, you'd think they could have called. The Giants probably wouldn't have done it, but back in the day, a couple weeks ago, could have called the Giants and been like, "Hey, Devin Singletary, huh? You want to?"
Yeah, man, that would have been nice, but it is what it is, man. Just me. Just me. No, David and I did. They didn't want to listen to me. I said I need a running back. Pacheco not working. Kareem Hunt's old. They don't listen to me, man. I just win them Super Bowls. I can't remember the last time that Kansas City won a Super Bowl for me. 3 Super Bowls, and this is how I get treated, man. Like shit.
I'm just glad that the running back bit paid off, because I've been having my Mahomes impressions complain about a running back. And then the fact that the Chiefs were given a running back and Breece Hall's caliber, and all they had to do was just say, yeah, let's give him a 3rd round pick. And they were like, oh, that's too steep. And it's like, bro.
I put it in the chat. I was like, "What the fuck is a 3rd round pick?"
I'm just being serious. Who are you drafting in the 3rd round that's going to be better than a running back that you pairing up with Patrick Mahomes? That you're pairing up with Patrick Mahomes for the remain, because people forget Mahomes is I'm not trying to say he's at the tail end, but he's kind of in the later stages of his career. And then Breece Hall, if you extend Breece Hall, you have Breece Hall and Mahomes as your backfield, and then whoever else you draft, to be Breece Hall's backup for the rest of his career, and that would be a great running back to have for the rest of his career. But no, man, they decide, screw that. Let's just try to find another 7th round guy. We're gonna just draft another 7th round idiot. That's who Mahomes will have to deal with.
Sure is tough, man.
Listen, buddy. You know what? Just to help you, know exactly what they did. I'm going to tell you the past couple of years who they drafted in the 3rd round.
Yeah, man, I don't think there's going to be Breece Hall, but okay, sure.
All right, so in 2022, they traded the 94th overall pick to New England, but they had a 2nd pick in which they took Leo Chenal, linebacker.
Yeah, how does that help me, man? He ain't doing shit on defense. Pound for pound strongest guy, but somehow can't do shit.
Well, to be fair, they did trade. The part of that trade with New England, with that 3rd round pick, involved swapping firsts, and the first that they got that year was Trent McDuffie. So,
yeah, man, how does it help me? Once again, not helping me.
I love this. You're just gonna say that for everything, but just for the sake of completion. 2023 offensive tackle Wanya Morris.
Yeah, man, is he starting? Nope, he ain't starting. He's on my bench.
And then they had two other. So they had another third round pick that they had traded to the Giants for. Let's see, Kadarius Toney.
Yeah, that definitely helped me, man. Kadarius
I mean,
Toney
hey,
just dropping all my balls.
Win Super Bowls. And then last year they did not have a third round pick because they traded it to the Buffalo Bills as part of the package that got them Xavier Worthy. Argue with that one.
You know what? That was a useful pick, but then again, it's not a running back.
And then this year, they had a couple third-round picks, which they took a defensive end, Ashton Gillott from Louisville, and Noel Williams, cornerback from California.
Yeah, Noel Williams has seen the time on the field. I don't even know who Gillott is. I don't even know where his locker's at. Yeah, man, this is really terrible by my organization, making sure that I don't have a running back for the rest of my career. But whatever, man. I'll just do everything like I've been doing, man. When I win a fourth Super Bowl and they ask me, hey, Pat, what do you want? I'll say running back, and they still won't give it to me. What do you mean I won that MVP by myself, man? Shut the fuck up, David. Get out of the comments. How dare you, man? Seriously, it was my throw that got them to that situation. Whatever.
Well,
Once again, no one gives me credit. Everyone just blames me. I can't win MVP because I've won it too many times, even though Aaron Rodgers won it 3 times and I only won it once or twice. I can't remember at this point, man.
Well, let's turn to.
Let's just give Josh Allen MVP. Let's just give Lamar MVP. Yeah, fuck me. Yeah, man, I don't even know where his locker's at, man. Like, and John trying to tell me that this third round pick is useful. The only useful name he said was Xavier Worthy.
So let's look at a team that would love to have the opportunity to make a determination as to whether their quarterback or their running back would be a Super Bowl MVP in the Baltimore Ravens as they travel to take on the Minnesota Vikings. It's the battle of purple versus purple. It's the Thanos Bowl.
Yeah.
It's the best I got. So let's see. You've got a Ravens team that finally gets Lamar Jackson back and looks electric. Looks like they have needed to look all this time. My goodness, they are once again considered during that game, it was listed that per FanDuel odds or whatever sportsbook odds that they had a 51% chance or 51% favorite to win the division. And I was like, seems a little ridiculous because the Steelers are still, doing pretty well. And I think that's part of why the Steelers decided to destroy the Colts. They were like, let's make a statement win so that these people who think that the Ravens are going to win this division know better. But the Ravens are looking electric again. Mark Andrews getting 2 touchdowns last week. Derrick Henry not fully back to Derrick Henry form, but still getting much better lanes. An ability to run the ball than he had when he was Cooper Rush with his or Snoop Huntley as his quarterback. Now they're coming to face a Vikings team that looks pretty damn good again with J.J. McCarthy instead of Carson Wentz. But if we want to talk about defenses, the Lions defense has been pretty shellacked the past couple weeks, and the Ravens defense has been looking a lot better, and especially looking a lot better when they have complimentary football being played. This is going to be a tough matchup for J.J. McCarthy and this Vikings offense. I understand the money line being what it is. I think it could be a little bit more in favor of the Ravens, but I think they're giving it the idea that a Brian Flores defense could provide some challenges for the Ravens. I'm taking the Ravens, but this could be a lot worse than what this money line suggests, only because J.J. McCarthy is still so new to the league, and that Ravens defense has the ability to be very, very confusing in how they dial up their looks and how they change post-snap.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Ravens too. Lamar looked really good. He just came back. Whatever was bugging him, it did not look like it was bugging him on that Thursday night. So I think the Ravens win this game. But I think the Vikings will be scrappy, and I think we'll see some good steams from Mr. J.J. McCarthy, especially against this Ravens defense, which isn't that good.
I mean, we were talking about this last week when I was saying Alohi Gilman helped provide a spark, and you were pointing out that Ravens Twitter has been really hating on him. But hey, by any means necessary.
We both won that trade. Odafe Oweh has been great.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Davion agreeing with us, saying he thinks the Ravens will take the game, but Minnesota will give them a fight.
Who cares about this next game? I'm like, what? This is like.
I think my goal for this one is as long as Quinshon Judkins and potentially if I need to start him somewhere, Harold Fannin Jr. do very well, I'll be happy.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say Browns, bro.
Yeah, I'm taking the Browns.
I have no analysis. I'm sorry. I cannot give an analysis for this game. Dude, both these teams are just crap. This game should be like. This should be where Thanos Infinity snaps people. Like all the people that are just like Infinity Snap, this is their torture. They have to watch a never-ending battle between the Browns and Jets every Sunday. And they're like, hey, what's the football game again this Sunday? Oh, it's Browns and Jets. You know, it's like that every Sunday. It's like, oh, damn, bro.
Wait. No, it's different this week. This time the Jets are going to the Browns.
Yeah. That's the only difference. They just change up the location and stuff. But this is horrible.
Well, at least let's talk about something that's a little bit more exciting. You've got the Tyler Shuck-led Saints. One of your boys versus the Bryce Young-led Panthers. Another one of your boys.
Yeah.
The Saints are going to be without Rashid Shaheed, potentially working Devon Vele into the mix a little bit more, who they traded for before the season started. Thank you very much for giving a 4th round and a 6th round to Denver for what was a 7th round pick the year prior. But they will also be trying to work Juwan Johnson and more into the mix. Alvin Kamara, something seems off. He did say weeks ago that if anybody was thinking of trading for him, if they did trade for him, he would just retire because he didn't want to leave New Orleans. But something seems off with him. I think it's just the age finally catching up to him. You can't give a guy that many touches all these years because you don't have anything else on offense and not expect the wheels to fall off. And sure, they kind of maybe tried to solve this problem over the years with other running backs, Condre Miller, potentially Devin Neal, we'll see, but it does suck. Meanwhile, for the Panthers, things are looking pretty good.
Well,
5-4. 5-4, as Chase was pointing out. It's a strong option, a strong ability here to get to 6-4, to really be challenging the Buccaneers for the division. The Buccaneers, that we're going to talk about it, they have a very tough matchup coming up soon. You do not, if you are the Panthers, you have to take advantage of this situation, don't you?
100%. You do. And knowing the Panthers, somehow they'll blow this game and become 5-5. But I don't think they'll do that. I will have faith that the Carolina Panthers will string 2 games in a row, handle business against a Saints team that has no identity. But I won't be surprised when I'm watching Red Zone. And it's like, and developing things here in Carolina as the Saints are just shellacking the Panthers. The Panthers just can't keep going. Bryce Young just threw his 3rd interception of the game. And I'm like, fucking Panthers. This is what happens when I put faith in you. You just do this for me, man. It's like,
well, I'm just saying, if you're the Panthers, if you beat the Packers, and then you string this win up against the Saints, you're at least feeling comfortable because the next 3 games on their schedule, not good. At Atlanta, at San Fran, home Rams.
Mm-hmm.
That's tough. That's a tough little mini schedule, mini bit. At least then you got your bye week, and then you got the last 3 out of 4 divisional matchups. But you're going to have to face Tampa 2 times after you come out of that bye week. Those are 2 of those divisional games. So you got to try to stack these wins if you're going to hope that Tampa stumbles and falls against some of these teams because of their injuries. But let's turn to a showdown in the AFC East. You have Tua. What the hell is going on in Miami? Tagovailoa versus the Buffalo Bills. The Bills, coming off that win.
Yeah, man. Look at the win.
That big win. They just ran roughshod over.
Yeah, ran. Knows what they used. A running back. Kind of crazy,
ran
man.
roughshod over the Kansas City Chiefs. They do have James Cook, who seems to be questionable right now. I think it's an illness-related thing. I don't know if it's an injury-related thing. But going up against a Dolphins squad that was willing to sell. Like they sent Jalen Phillips. One of the things I didn't put on that trade list was trading Jalen Phillips to the Eagles for, I think it was a 6th-round pick. But they were willing to hear trade offers for Jalen Waddle.
Yeah.
And I believe from everything I'm reading, the Denver Broncos called. And it was just a question of they could not meet on a adequate or suitable price. To my knowledge, the Dolphins wanted a 1st-rounder plus, and Denver was like, I don't know about that one, Chief. And so the trade didn't happen. Would have been nice. Much better than the Chris Olave trade that kept getting floated around for Denver. But do you see a world where like the Dolphins can win this game?
I mean, it's a possibility. I mean, they had a good game against the Bills on Thursday night, but then against the Bills, you never know what you're going to get with the Bills. Like the Bills, they're like that one fighter. They just fuck around with their opponents too much sometimes, and then sometimes they get caught with a nice straight, and then they get rocked, and then they have to catch up a little bit. So I can see the Dolphins winning this game, yeah, but I think the Bills win. If they show up like they did last week, they're fine. You just need the good Bills to show up. If it's the Bills that shows up against like the Falcons, then yeah, the Dolphins have a chance. I don't know. Maybe someone should give Tua pink eye again or something.
Dude, I don't even think if it's the Bills that shows up against the Falcons show up that the Dolphins really have it. There just seems to be something so dysfunctional, so like fundamentally rotten in Miami right now. I can't trust Miami to win anything, really.
Hey, man, should have traded Devon Achane to me, but whatever.
A little payback for sending you guys Tyreek. But let's turn to a fascinating matchup. Fascinating matchup. 2 teams that were helmed by Tom Brady for a Super Bowl, at least one Super Bowl win.
Is this on Fox?
1 second, I will let you know.
Yeah, this would be a very good. We put Brady and Burkhardt in this game. You
I didn't even think of that.
You should have Brady. You should have Brady call this game. To be honest,
you're shitting me. It's a CBS game.
Oh man. I don't know, Jim. Does it tell you who's broadcasting each game yet, or no?
I don't think so. Hold on. Let me see.
Yeah, this seems like a Romo and Nance game. Nothing else from the CBS schedule off the top of my head. Maybe Colts Falcons, but
okay. So let's see. This is an afternoon one, isn't it? No, this is still a 12:00 game. So 12:00. Let's see what else they got. Browns Jets. They're not calling that. They do have Bills Dolphins, and that's it for the early games.
Oh, I got the announcer. So yeah, it'll be Nance, Romo, and Tracy for the Patriots and Buccaneers. Iron Eagle and JJ Watt will do the Texans game. Buffalo Bills and Dolphins will be Charles Davis and McCourty and Andrew Calton. Browns and Jets, they don't even get anyone good. They get Sparrow Deads and Adam Archuleta. And then Arizona Cardinals and Seahawks get Kevin Harlan and Trent Green. So I might actually watch an Arizona Cardinals game because Kevin Harlan's on the call. And then the Fox games, the main crew, Burkhardt and Brady. Of course, Brady just wants to be in California, Rams and 49ers. So, yeah, missed opportunity.
Is it wild to think that the Patriots could win this game? Like, I understand the money line's close, but like,
I don't think it's wild at all. I actually have the Patriots winning this game. Buccaneers are big.
I'm trying to figure. Like, I don't think it's outside of the realm of probability here.
Like, the Buccaneers are pretty banged up offensively. Like, their offensive line is still kind of hurting. Bucky Irving, we don't know if he's going to be playing this game.
It still hasn't been confirmed whether or not he's playing. What's going on?
Yeah, Godwin might not play this game too. There's like a lot of things where it's like there is some concerns on the Buccaneers side. While with the Patriots, like, I don't know, the people seem to go down and then people step up for their roster. But I just think that, like, Drake May, especially if you're going to try to push this MVP narrative, and if you want Drake May to like solidify himself as if he's one of the best, it's like this is the game where it's like, hey, Drake May, if you win this game, you guys are going to be 10-2, and it's like, damn, Okay, but
So
who
actually,
knows?
this is a question I wanted to ask you because could have brought this up earlier with the Giants, but right now Dart is the favored, but it's close between him and Ibuka. If you remember now, we did our futures things. The idea of Ibuka was either it's going to hit or it could be your cash out option.
Yeah.
Would you at this point be willing to make it the cash out option because of how good Dart's looking and the idea
Yeah.
of it being a QB ward?
Yeah. If Ibuka doesn't have like a nuclear game here, then it's just kind of like go ahead and cash it out now because he's second best odds. Your cash out is probably pretty nice that they're offering you. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I did cash out on my Ibuka Rookie of the Year bet. It paid me pretty handsomely, so I'm fine with that. Plus, Ibuka's gonna hit all his NFL future bets still. He's already got his touchdowns. His yardage was really low. He's gonna be close to hitting that. So I'm not hurting, but I'm definitely like Ibuka. As much as he should have, like he was going to run away, it's so hard, especially with the way Dart's playing. He's going to get the stats. He's going to throw the touchdowns. Like if Dart was playing just average, where it's just like he's playing like Cam Ward. No offense to Cam Ward. Cam Ward's just playing average, right?
Yeah.
If Dart was like that, then yeah, it's like, okay, no, I'll keep with the boot go. But right now, this is Jackson Dart's Rookie of the Year to lose. It would take like I said, Egbuka, if he doesn't get like 3 touchdowns and 150 yards this game, then it's kind of like, oh yeah, you got to kind of cash out here. It's getting too dicey. But I already did cash out on my Egbuka Rookie of the Year bet. So, and I put a heavy penny on that, and it paid me a good heavy penny back. So, if he would have won, that would have been an insane payout. But I took the smart option. I said, you know what? You're going to give me $650 for this cash out. I am going to accept it. The $2,200 I would have won for Ibuka winning Rookie of the Year would be nice, but it's not feasible in my mind. And I don't want it where there's guys like Tyler Warren and other people to surpass Ibuka to second place right now. And then afterwards, Ibuka kind of those odds drop to its original. So I decided to take my cash out. I said, screw it. I'll take my cash out. Not a big deal. Ibuka's hitting on all the other bets that I made for him.
So here's the thing. Here's one of my questions. This idea, and I know you just said it, Drake May, like the idea of Drake May, if you want to be really considered for the MVP. People have been making a lot of noise about the Patriots' strength of schedule, both being the easiest and now also being the easiest.
Would be nice, man, if I had an easy schedule.
Yeah, listen. Sucks you got to be playing the
No,
AFC
man, it's
West,
kind of
buddy.
ridiculous, man, but whatever.
Sucks you got to play in the AFC West, buddy. What can I say?
Yeah,
but my question to you is this. This is one of the few teams, even as banged up as it is, that has been one of the true tests for the Patriots. What do we think of the Patriots if they lose this one?
They're still a good team. They're young. They're overachieving. It's an overachieving year for the Patriots. Like you like when you see your team overachieve like this. So to me, I look at it as like you win, cool. You solidify yourself as one of the better AFC teams. You lose, cool. You're still overachieving. You're 9-3. You're gonna make the playoffs. Like you like I don't know. Like you're gonna make the playoffs with this roster unless you have a huge loss streak, which I don't see them having.
Yeah, I don't think
so.
Yeah. So let's turn to Seattle and the Cardinals. And we have a Cardinals team that just placed Kyler Murray on IR.
Just in time for Call of Duty, baby. It's time to rest. Get to play and grind the double XP weekend.
4 to 8 weeks. Can you believe it? 8 weeks. I'll put him out at the end of the season. I don't think I hope for him, it's for everyone involved that it's not that long because the team can be electric when Kyler Murray's there. But this is a team that turn the control of the ball over to Jacoby Brissett, has to go into Seattle and face a Seattle team that is absolutely on fire. Sam Darnold didn't throw an incompletion until the third quarter, but he had like 4 touchdowns by then. It's ridiculous. I cannot understand. Like, I would love to see Seattle and the Eagles go at it, like right now.
Yeah,
what are we waiting for to when it comes to some of these NFC matchups? Like I think for them they could go to the playoffs right now. Like Rams,
Seahawks,
Eagles, Seahawks, we don't know exactly what's going to happen with the NFC North, but like,
Yeah,
I guess we can make an argument. Probably the Lions are going to get in. Like,
Lions.
like those are teams like the AFC is a lot more wide open.
Oh yeah.
But the NFC, it just is like who can possibly but you never know, right? You never know how these things are going to break and so on and so forth. I'm taking the Seahawks. I think you are too.
Yeah, it's nice that Maserati Marv is finally awakened. That's very nice to see.
Listen, it's a miracle what happens when you have a good pocket passer.
Yeah.
Just able to distribute the ball, do these little things.
Yeah, I know.
And the Cardinals, they potentially could get Trey Benson back, but I don't think that's going to make much.
Not this week. Probably next week.
Yeah. And sure, we'll see Charbonnet probably vulture a touchdown or 2 or 3 or 4 from Kenneth Walker.
Yeah, Kenneth Walker's just like, I just need I want a touchdown for my birthday, and they're like, nah, Charbonnet needs this more.
Let's turn to Niners Rams. This was a Thursday night football game a month ago that went the distance, went to overtime, involved some shenanigans there at the end. And now we see the reverse. It's now the Niners hosting, the Rams traveling. The Rams are just, like I was just saying about the Seahawks, they are on fire. It is ridiculous. I know you know, but did you, meaning the audience or anybody watching or listening to this, did you guys know that the leading touchdown thrower in the NFL is Matt Stafford, 37-year-old Matt Stafford with 21, and he also only has 2 interceptions. What is going on in Los Angeles? You want to talk, like, I get the idea that Stafford could retire at any given point in time in the offseason, but like the way he's playing right now, as long as that back doesn't fuck up on him. Remember, this is a guy who was getting epidurals for his back 2.5 months ago. Do the Rams even need Anthony Richardson? Like, my goodness, this is offense's move. It's whether Puka Nakua's there, whether he's not there. They have Devontae Adams. They have Tutu Atwell. They have Jordan Whittington. They have Tyler Higbee. They have Blake Corum. They have, like, this is such a complete offense.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. And then the defense is so good. This is another reason why, like, I don't know if you guys ever played or know what Chinese checkers is, but it was in essence checkers with it was a circle and then it had triangles on the outside. But like you could have multiple people playing at the same time against each other. It wasn't a forced 1v1 situation. And I wish there was a way for football to pull that off, because I would pay right now for an Eagles, Seahawks, Rams triple threat match. I would pay money for that right now. Like, I'll even be willing to throw in the Lions and make it a fatal 4-way. But like, it's ridiculous how good these teams are in the NFC. And I feel bad for a Niners team that is just so banged up that they're winning games,
The
but
Walking
they're
Dead.
bad teams.
Yeah, The Walking Dead is the 49ers. Like, they'll show up. They'll make this competitive. Shanahan knows all McVay's tricks, vice versa as well. So I do expect the score to be close, but I got the Rams winning this game.
Yeah. And what is that? Actually, let me, because I don't remember off the top of my head what their respective standings. Wow. Seattle is 6-2. The Rams are 6-2. The Seahawks are only winning right now because they're 1-1 in the division. Rams are 0-1. Conference record: Seattle 3-2, and the Rams are 1-2. That's crazy. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So let's turn now to the Commanders taking on the Lions. Oof. A lot of things could be said about poor decisions by coaching staffs. We don't know what's going to happen in the future when it comes to Jane Daniels' career, but I am sure that on a human level, Dan Quinn is a little haunted by what he allowed to have happen. And you never know, right? And that's part of the reason why you want to pull players when it's a blowout loss. But also sometimes you're like, you got to let him play. And you also like the reports came out from that Jane Daniels is the type of person who would say to the coaching staff, he's saying, I'm supposed to be the leader. What would it look like if I wasn't playing every snap if I'm physically able to do so? Like, I can't let Marcus Mariota go out there and take the hits that I'm supposed to take. That's not his job. He's the backup. I'm the starter. But unfortunately now, Marcus Mariota is the starter because that was a horrific, grueling injury to a very promising young quarterback in Jaden Daniels last week, and prayers and just best wishes for him to heal up. You never want to see something like that happen, but it's putting the Commanders in this is in essence a lost season for them, and it really sucks because they had a lot of promise. And some people are saying, "Oh, well, we knew the Commanders were going to regress." Sure, and I'm not saying you're saying this, but because you were one of the persons that had the Commanders regressing, but there's a difference between regressing because you just don't play well and regressing because the quarterback keeps getting fucking hurt. And there's something to be said, like the idea of this mobile run-first quarterback. Sooner or later, something like this is going to happen, and it's why I'm not the biggest fan of mobile run-first quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Because all it takes is one hit. You get hit the wrong way, or in this case, you're taking a tackle and you're coming down and you just come down the wrong way. But what it does to this team is it's terrible. And they already are missing Terry McLaurin. They are talking. They were benching. I think no, they put Lattimore on IR. This is a mess. And now you got to face a Lions team that is hungry because they remember what you did to them at the height of your powers last year in the NFC divisional round.
Mm-hmm.
I feel bad for the Commanders. I guess they could technically win the game.
They have a chance, but not the best chance, I would say.
Yeah, I don't. The Commanders of this year are the San Francisco 49ers of this year and last year. But that takes us to Sunday Night Football. And you know what? I normally lead off talking about the games. Let's turn this one
Mike,
over.
this is going to be a good one, man. This is the Steelers, it's the Chargers, Aaron Rodgers, and Justin Herbert. This is going to be a fun one.
Hey, Chris, man, what about me, man? Don't forget about me.
Patrick, I love you, man, but this is going to be a good one. You're on a bye week. Enjoy the bye week. Don't have to worry about the game.
Whatever, man. Everyone's just forgetting about Patrick Mahomes now.
Yeah, Steelers and Chargers. We don't know where you're going to get out the Steelers. The Chargers are entering this banged up. And also, there's a lot of bad history with the Steelers and the Chargers, especially on Sunday Night Football. We lost to Devlin Hodges on Sunday Night Football one time, did the Chargers. Michael Vick also beat the Chargers on the Sunday Night Football game at one point. Just saying, I am reverse jinxing it like I did with the Vikings. I am choosing the Steelers out of the hope of a reverse jinx and the Chargers win because, man, I really want the Chargers to win this game. But I will not be surprised if the Steelers go ahead. Now, the one thing about the Chargers is our defense is good against the pass. I do feel we play well against, what the Steelers are going to be trying to do with Aaron Rodgers and the quick game ability. But I do think that the Chargers' injuries, especially on that offensive line, will catch up to them, especially with the Steelers' defensive line, what they have, especially at edge rusher. I think that they could win this game, the Steelers. It'll be a close one, though. But I do think that the Chargers could win. But it's just hard. History is not fond of the Chargers and Steelers. We've only beat them a couple of times on Sunday Night Football. But most of the time when we face them Sunday night, it's the Steelers kicking our ass.
I will say one thing I did want to add about that Lions-Commanders game. I mean, obviously, I think we're still both picking the Lions, but just Lions players not practicing today. Kirby Joseph, left guard Christian Mahogany, right tackle Panay Sewell, working off to the side.
Yeah, man.
Left tackle Taylor Decker, defensive lineman Pat O'Connor, offensive tackle Dan Skipper. Like there's a shot, but like I don't think it's that strong. But when it comes to the Chargers and the Steelers, I'm going to reverse jinx you by picking the Steelers because I want the Chargers. I'm sorry, reverse jinx you by picking the Chargers because I want the Chargers to lose.
Oh man, dude, such a fucking hater this guy is, man. I can't wait to beat Denver next week. When we come off a bye, Andy Reid undefeated. Yeah, man, we're back. It's all right. And I'll beat you without a running back too. We'll see if that defense can sack me, man, as I just duck and dodge all these guys.
Listen. The most penalized defense in the league is Denver's, and the most penalized yards is Denver's. And I think it was Efanessa who got that hit on Mahomes because Mahomes stood in was kill that man. That's all.
No one's gonna kill me, man. I'm immortal.
But yeah, no, I do think it's gonna be a close game. It's just hard. I would love to say Chargers and stuff, but it's just the history. It's like the Steelers.
Yeah, no, I'm messing around.
It's just hard for me to say, oh yeah, let me go with the Chargers. Like I can't because like
my thing is
every time I choose them against the Steelers, they lose. So I'm just like, you know what? Let me reverse jinx it. I'm okay with being wrong in this prediction. I'm just gonna pick Pittsburgh because I know they beat us and stuff. Well, it's not even a home game, Davion. They're away. But it's gonna be a home game because SoFi. We have a bunch of Steelers fans in the fucking California because they all leave Pittsburgh because it's a horrible city and they can't live there. So they come to California where it's nice and sunny. Right now, John, it's a beautiful 70 degrees in the fucking middle of November. Like this is what we expect here in California. It's nice and sunny. It's just a little bit of wind bothering you.
Yeah, but if I wanted that, I would have stayed in South Florida, and I didn't. So
yeah, no, we have better weather in South Florida.
Yeah, but I'm saying like if I wanted that kind of weather, I would have.
Yeah, but Pittsburgh's such a shitty city. They have to come to LA, a dominant city, and then they just decide to come here. Like for whatever reason, in California, we have a shit ton of, and I'm talking about out of state fan bases, and I do not count the Raiders as out of state. Like I say the Raiders, because they started here in LA, and so I don't count Raiders as out of state. Like, but in California, we have a shit ton of Packers, Vikings, Steelers, Redskins / Commanders, and for whatever fucking reason, Dolphins fans. We just have a shit ton of those fans in California. And whenever a California team plays them, you always wonder, oh man, why is it like teams that you would think would have huge fan bases like the Bears, the Ravens, and all these other Chiefs too, but that I'd say that's more bandwagony and stuff. Not a lot like the Chiefs fans kind of bandwagon and stuff. But those fans literally just like it's just ridiculous. It's just like so many fans. Like we don't even have that many Colts fans. Colts have been good for so many years. It's whatever. It is what it is. Yeah. It still pisses me off to this very day. It does not matter how much it'll change. When the Chargers decide to play fucking Renegade for the Steelers saw on Renegade. They played it for the Steelers when we were playing at that shitty soccer stadium. Oh my god. I've never been more pissed. No, you guys think John thinks he's seen me pissed. I was livid. I was so upset when Renegade played. Like I was like, that's not our son. Blah blah blah. But I hope the Chargers go back. You know what I love about the Navy game? We did everything that we did at Jack Murphy Stadium, man. Like we did everything that we did at Qualcomm and stuff, man. Like bro, you know how sick it was? Oh my, I got so much nostalgia when we played Crazy Train for every kickoff. Like that's the Chargers I know, man. When we play Crazy Train for the kickoff, they're like no more of this. Let's go Chargers! Boom. Go
Bolt
back to
up,
Crazy,
man. Bolt up. Come
just on. Do Crazy Train, dog. Just do Crazy Train again. Like, oh my god. Like, I felt so much nostalgia. What jerseys are we wearing this game? Are we wearing any cool jerseys for this game? Chargers jerseys. Hopefully, it'd be nice if we wore the Navy. I love our Navy jerseys. Yeah, I'm looking at the Chargers uniform schedule right now. I'm like, oh, they wear a cool jersey, man. That'd be cool for this game. Oh, they're not wearing anything.
Oh, Denver's bringing the throwbacks back for Thursday night.
So the Chargers jerseys, we are wearing the powder blue with the gold pants.
That's not terrible. something.
Yeah, Mike, but it's not like those cool old gold jerseys. I want one of those, Mike. It's pretty cool, just seeing that the Chargers wear yellow while the Steelers wear their whites. It'd be interesting. Steelers is like two weeks in a row, like getting Sunday night games within like the last 3 weeks. Interesting.
Yeah, what was it? I think it was Commanders. They had 2 back-to-back primetime games.
Yeah, we're gonna flex those soon. Yeah, they have Monday night and then Sunday night.
Yeah. But let's turn to Monday Night Football.
Yeah, and you know why they were only on the Monday night game? Come on, John. Not because of them, man.
Let's turn to.
Why don't you give me credit, man? I put them on Monday Night Football. Once again, don't give me credit for everything that I do for this damn league.
You just got to have a couple more babies and name them after precious metals.
Yeah, man, we are. We're gonna have Platinum Mahomes coming soon, bro.
But let's talk about Monday Night Football. You've got
these kids are going to get bullied by their names.
Oh my God! But the problem is, no one in Kansas City their child would bully a Mahomes kid. Like they're going to walk around like they're royalty.
And dude, how many last names like Mahomes are there in Kansas City?
That's what I'm saying,
bro. Like I'm just saying, if I was a diehard Chiefs fan and I heard my kid be like, "Oh yeah, a new kid came to class. Oh yeah, what's his name? Sterling Mahomes." Whoa. Patrick Mahomes' kid is in your class. When's the next parent teacher night?
Yeah,
I'm gonna be there. And then I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be like, oh my God. Then they say like the maid or something. I'm gonna be like, the fuck is this? I want to see Patrick Mahomes. Now I'm seeing the maid. The hell? But yeah, no, those kids, they're gonna be sad.
That's what I'm saying. Like, no one's gonna do anything to those kids.
Man, who bullying my fucking kid? I'm gonna go talk to the principal right now. Hey, listen, when I talk to the referees, they throw the flag. You gotta throw the flag right now for this, man. Ridiculous. Can't be bullying my fucking kids.
Imagine you're a Chiefs fan. Imagine you didn't know. And obviously, this is going to probably be some private school, right? But like, imagine you didn't know that your kid had Mahomes' kid in their class, and you find out that your kid bullied Mahomes' kid.
Oh.
And wait, and then you find out that Pat got you and your entire family banned from ever attending home games at Arrowhead.
You know what I saw? I saw like
Would you
I'd be pissed.
Throw the kid out is what I'm saying.
Oh, kid going up for adoption, child services. I wouldn't even abuse the kid. I would just call child services, get this kid out of my life. Like he ruined the one thing that I love in football. Like I get it. This is the seed. I'm supposed to sacrifice happiness for this damn thing, but there's one thing that I want, and that's Chiefs games. But Arrowhead, I actually want to go to that stadium really bad. It's on my bucket list of NFL stadiums I want to go to before it's all said and done. Like I just want to experience the atmosphere. I don't want to go when it's a Chiefs Chargers game. I'll just go for any other Chiefs game. I'll wear like a generic like Kansas City Chiefs shirt and just be like,
no, that I couldn't do.
No, like a generic like gray or red shirt, just saying like, hey, I'm here for the Chiefs. Yeah, like a generic colored shirt that will say like I'm rooting for the Chiefs, but I'm not really rooting for them. I'll just be sitting there. I just want to go. I think the experience. I think that stadium is. Is there any stadiums on the list? Like Lambeau is on my list. Soldier Field's on my list before they become the
next. Soldier Field is good. Soldier Field's the only football game that I've been to. It was Cardinals came to town to play the Bears. Yeah. I got to see Kyler Murray. And to tell you how long ago this was, DeAndre Hopkins was still on the team.
Oh
wow! So I got to see Hop, which was nice. But yeah, that was a pretty good experience. It was kind of rainy that day, and because I was trying to be as close as possible, we were uncovered. But I mean, good experience.
Yeah, I think for me, because I've seen football NFL games outdoors and indoors, I'm too spoiled. Like I'm too spoiled of the indoor atmosphere. I can imagine. And SoFi, I've been to Dallas for a Dallas Cowboys game and stuff. Like I've been to Jerry's World and stuff. Like Seahawks, I went to that stadium and stuff, and it's just as electric as you think it is. I've been to Levi's and the old Candlestick. I've been to the old Oakland Arena and stuff. So like I've experienced all the stadiums that the Coliseum, of course. But yeah, I was just like, man. Certain teams, I just kind of want to go to their stadiums just once, just to say I've been there, and the Arrowhead is one of them where I'm just like
I would want to because like
and Pittsburgh too. That's another stadium
for me because I don't mind cold weather like at all. Like I perfectly am comfortable with it. I would think a wintry game in Buffalo would be awesome.
Yeah, right. No, I would do that. I would sacrifice my happiness for that one time experience and stuff. No, I will never do professional wrestling outdoors again though, because when I went to SummerSlam, it was so in Nashville, it was so humid, my contacts dried up,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
I couldn't see shit for the rest of the show. Like I could see shit, but I like my vision was bad, and I was just like, yeah, never again for pro wrestling outdoors. If you're gonna do a stadium show, there better be a roof on that stadium, otherwise I ain't showing up.
Well,
I ain't
hey,
showing up to that.
come on now, Chase. You know what WWE is going to do?
Just watch.
Blow the roof off the place.
Oh yeah, of course. And they're on. That's when people are like, "Oh, you going to the Survivor Series in San Diego?" One, no. Two, it's outdoors. I ain't going. I'm not going. I love Petco Park. It's one of the best ballparks that you can go to here in California. Better than Dodger Stadium. Sorry, Dodgers fans, deal with it. Dodger Stadium is not that great. In fact, hot take: Angel Stadium is better than Dodger Stadium, but they don't want to have that conversation just yet. Dodgers are the best team, yeah, but not the best stadium. The Giant Stadium is way better. The Giant Stadium is the best stadium in California.
San Francisco Giants.
Yeah. It's one of the best ballparks too, especially when you get one of the higher seats. You just see the ocean and shit. So like the games are so. It's such a nice stadium. Like if you ever visit San Francisco and you're in town, and the Giants are so happening playing, just go buy a ticket. Go to a ballpark game. Go to a game in the ballpark, and you don't even need to enjoy the game. You can honestly just get lost and just sitting there and just looking outside, and you're just like, oh wow, this is a beautiful ballpark, and you're just tranquil in life. It's great. Yeah, Packers Eagles. Yes. Didn't want to talk about this game, to be honest. Both teams pissed me off. The Eagles, I don't know what they're doing. The Packers pissed me off because they're too inconsistent.
I'm taking the Eagles. Like, I mean, until I know that there's like the rumor or whatever that Saquon's hurt and they're gonna have to go with Tank Bigsby, but like until I see for a fact, I don't see a reason why I wouldn't pick the Eagles. And it's an extra day. Like they just came off the bye week. Like why wouldn't they be able to pick up a win here? I'm taking the Eagles over the Packers. We could have some good running back battle though between Jacobs and Saquon.
Would be nice.
But yeah, no, I'm going with the Eagles too. I don't know why the Packers are favored in this game. Maybe because they're in Green Bay.
Home, yeah, I think it's the home field advantage, especially when you remember the fact that like the leading receiver on the team is now torn his ACL.
Yeah.
Rest up, Tucker Kraft.
Yeah. So I got the Eagles. Hey, did you know the Chargers? They have now the tush push. We used it.
Really?
Yeah. Now they're trying to decide what the name is. Is it the Chargers Charge or the Bolt Pulse?
I'm going to pretend you said neither of those to me.
That's what we're debating.
I'm just going to pretend that you said neither of those.
We used that 4 times against the Titans in the fourth quarter. They couldn't stop it.
I'm still going to pretend that you said neither of those phrases to me.
I liked Ross Tucker's. I like Ross Tucker's when he was on commentary. He said we should call it the electric surge, and I like that a lot better.
That's way better than
the Chargers Charge or the Bolt Pulse.
To me before.
Yeah, he's like, and they're doing the electric surge, as I would like to call it. And the commentator was like, the other commentator was like, oh, that's good. He goes, yeah, and then he's like, they went to commercial. He's like, all right, so I checked Twitter on commercial, and the Chargers fans are calling it either the Chargers Charge or the Bolt Pulse. You guys got to make up your mind.
Well, if there was ever a Chargers fans have terrible taste and are uncreative.
You excited for Chargers Eagles?
Chargers Eagles?
Yeah, that's going to happen in next month.
Oh well.
But do you know what the gimmick is for the game?
Oh God, what is it?
It's the Monsters Inc. game.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, that's at least as exciting.
We're the Chargers are Team Sully and the Eagles are Team Mike Wazowski.
Huh. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Blue, green.
Yeah. Hopefully there's some cool merch. Yeah, I'm excited.
Imagine like a Sully like Chargers hoodie kind of thing.
Oh, that'd be sick.
That'd be cool, right?
I don't know what I would use it for, but
here's my question. Do you think with the injuries to Rashawn Slater, Joe Alt ×2, Amari Hampton, Najee Harris, that Justin Herbert needs to sacrifice his relationship with Madison Beer to get this
No,
team back on track.
that's ridiculous. They're happy together. Why would you ruin this?
Because I think she's the cause of the problem.
Nope. I just think just have to have a Herbert before the game, and everything will be good.
I think that her presence is distracting.
No, it's
from him.
not. It's not distracting.
Well, no, from the perspective of
Maybe you should just be worried about Bo Nix to have his kid, and maybe he'll play better after the kid.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, he's playing great. He's leading the division right now, 7-2.
No, your defense is leading the division. He's
he's
doing enough. He's doing enough.
Interesting, because like the defense didn't put up 33 points in one quarter against the Giants. Or
yeah, man, they put you in good field position. You should listen to Chase on this one, man. I'm just saying.
Mahomes brings up a point. You know, the defense is leading the way. No, I don't think you should sacrifice it. I think he's happy. He's going to Laker games. He's going to Dodgers games. He's having his Modelo with 2 limes.
What I'm saying is, though, do you want your quarterback to be happy or do you want them to be angry and pissed off?
You know what? Herbert seems like he feeds off positive, happy energy. So I want him to be happy. He's not Baker.
Did you see that? I mean, I know you did, but like that post-game conference with Harbaugh, and he was talking about like, oh, just these throws.
Yeah.
It's like there's nobody else on planet Earth who can make these throws. And in the back of my mind, I was like, I want him to keep this same energy when Herbert throws 4 fucking interceptions in the playoffs.
No, he's just going to blame himself.
When that happens, I want Harbaugh to be like, no other quarterback can make these interceptions.
No, dude. My favorite, it was like the game. It was the game against the Dolphins. He was talking about like they go like, oh, what did you think about Herbert's throw to Ladd that led to the game? He goes, that throw was crazy. You know, like I was watching Mission Impossible the other day on the team plane, right? That was Mission Impossible. That was Ethan Hunt status. I was like, what are you talking about? That was Ethan Hunt. He's like Mission Impossible out there, the way he made that throw. You know, to get the sack up and then this. And I was like, oh, Harbaugh, I love him, man. He's the greatest. He makes you feel great about it. You would love Harbaugh with Bo Nix. Oh, Bo Nix. He just audibles plays. Tells me to fuck off. I love it. Love the competitiveness.
One thing I will say, because people they're not making a big deal out of it, but it got used on the NFL like hate memes and NFL IG, all those kind of things. Sean Payton during one of the post-practice conference interview bullshit things, they were asking him like why he like kind of pranks Will Lutz. And he was talking about how like he remembers all of like he keeps a stat sheet of Will Lutz hits, misses, all that kind of stuff. And so like he'll purposefully put Will Lutz while they're in practice in like terrible situations according to Will Lutz's history, and then be like, all right, go kick it. He's like, you can't do it. You suck. You can't get. And he said the reason why I do that is so that during the games, when I go up to him and I go, I believe in you, now just go kick it. Will Lutz will just go kick it because he knows I'm telling the truth, because I was being a dick to him the whole time, all the other times. Now, one, that's a great glimpse into the weirdness of Sean Payton's mind, of like his belief of negative reinforcement and so on and so forth. But like that really, it did bear fruit in that game against the Texans with like that clip of him going out there and he's just like, hey, Will, right through. And then he just walks away, and Will Lutz drills it. I was like, that was amazing. But Chase, we've said it all, we've done it all for this week. Let the people know where they can find you, my good sir.
Yeah, you can follow me on X at ChaseOver68. Tomorrow I'll be on the AEW Dynamite review with Steve on the Around the Point Network. Sadly, I have to talk about some wrestling at this point in juncture, but I'm free and I have a day off, so I'll sacrifice an hour and a half to talk about wrestling if I have to. True Elite Sports for the True Picks. Next week will be on, I believe, Thursday. So that should be fun. Hopefully we can predict the Thursday night game or something. And then that's pretty much it. And then whenever SP3 needs a fill in, I'm always on True Heat as well.
Let's see, what is next week's? Oh God. I think we can easily predict. We could predict now next Thursday Night Football.
What is it?
Jets and Patriots.
Oh, Patriots.
I was like, I think we can do it now. I think it'll
I was
be.
all like, I'm not even giving the Jets stuff.
No,
But
I don't know where it is. I think it's the Madrid game. With all of the shenanigans that's going on, listen to what we're giving the poor Spaniards. Dolphins Commanders.
damn.
What did they do to deserve this?
Yeah, exactly, bro.
I mean, I'm sure Latin America will be able to point out a number of things, but man, it's terrible, just terrible.
Yeah.
But alrighty, guys, remember to take care of yourselves and each other, and we will catch you all later. Until next time, peace.
Yeah, man, don't let me sign out. It's